Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the mini-series where we bring you 5 films thematically related to the main feed film. This week we're talking The 13th Floor. I am your host, Landon Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's good to be seen as a wireframe version of myself that only exists at the edges of our reality. I'm thinking of that because that is heavily featured on the poster for The 13th Floor.
Do you have any idea as to what is going to be recommended to us by the machine in regards to 13th Floor this week?
I don't know, Landon. Are there any movies about simulated realities that came out maybe the same year or even the same 3-month span as the movie The 13th Floor?
I don't know. I guess we should find out. Should we go to our first film?
Let's kick this off. World on a Wire, the German miniseries from the 70s that this is based on.
Yes.
So you say that the director of this, Werner Fassbinder, is one of the all-time great directors. Tell me about that.
Okay. I mean, do I want to talk about him or do I want to talk about this movie? Kind of both.
Yeah.
Interesting man, died young and left behind so many films. He has 50 films in a short period of time that he has put out, both television movies, theatrical films. He deals with all kinds of subject matter, from gay romance narratives to musicals to period piece dramas to modern day dramas to science fiction television miniseries like World on a Wire. He's one of the all-time greats, a huge name in the German New Wave of the late 60s through the early 80s. World on a Wire, I saw this in the theater.
In the 70s?
Before I was born, I created a simulation of 1973 Germany so that I can go back in time and watch it.
That's what you're doing in Berlin in the 70s. You were not hitting their famous discotheques. You were just going to a movie theater to see a made-for-TV movie.
No, at the Cinefamily in Los Angeles, when this movie was kind of being rediscovered, there's a whole new restoration of it. They played it there, and I was able to go and see it. It was awesome to see on the big screen. A little bit long because it is in 2 parts. It's about a little under 4 hours, so it was a long time in the theater, but.
Yeah, but but worth it. It kept you engaged, more so seemingly than The 13th Floor.
Yes, I love this movie because, to me, it's very authentic to the book, which is not a prerequisite for a film. Mm-hmm. But what I like about this is that it uses the book and explores. It doesn't change what's in the book, but it adds another layer, another reality on top of it, which is kind of an interesting thing. This movie finds humor in the book that wasn't super apparent when you read through it.
Okay.
It reads kind of just like a Mickey Spillane, not a noir or detective story necessarily, but just kind of like that hard-nosed Robert Heinlein style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Fassbinder finds the kind of absurdity of, if you learned that you're living in a simulation, the absurd nature of continuing your life under those circumstances would be bizarre. Just kind of I don't know. It has this kind of zaniness to it that is unexpected.
Yeah. I feel like that's an interesting. It contributes to sort of the interesting different adaptations of this movie, because you've got The 13th Floor, which adapted the book into something it's not, which is a film noir mystery, and then this movie, which hewed closer to what the book was doing, but it still found a new way into the material through sort of comedy and absurdity that might have been subtextual in the book, but it kind of it raised it up some more.
Yeah, exactly. And the last thing I'll say about this movie, which I could talk about this for hours, is if you have an interest in foreign language films, but are always kind of hesitant to pull the trigger because you think they're going to be heavy or they're going to be dealing with a culture clash or something, like, I always point to this as like, go taste the waters of World on a Wire, and it could be an access point to opening up a world of international cinema to you.
Okay, so like Bong Joon-ho said, there's a whole world out there for people who aren't scared of 1-inch tall letters at the bottom of their screen.
Exactly.
Well,
all right, shall we move on?
Let's move on. Oh, The Matrix. Yeah, I think I've heard of this. What is there to say? Virtual reality, simulations, your world isn't real. There is no spoon.
Red pill, eat the steak.
Yeah, red and
Deja vu, black cats.
And there's the inside of the pill is a smaller steak. This movie, I would say has not in any way been misinterpreted by the worst people in the universe to mean a set of other things. I first watched this movie on a plane. I was in 5th grade, and we were flying to New Zealand, and I'd wanted to watch The Matrix.
Hold on, something just broke my brain. You could watch movies on planes when you were in 5th grade?
That was like yeah, we had that technology. Like,
I guess what I'm picturing is, like, at that time you had the one screen for the entire cabin to watch.
Exactly.
Is that? Oh, okay.
It was Air New Zealand or whatever, and I had wanted to see this movie so bad. I was like, Mom, you gotta let me see The Matrix. It looks so cool. There's so much shooting in it. And she was like, no, this is way too violent. You're weird enough as it is. But then we get on the plane, and then, like, our in-flight movie will be The Matrix, and I remember just turning to my mom and being like, checkmate. You can't stop me now. And it was an amazing...
What is the airplane version of this like, though? I mean, like... A lot of violence taken out of it, I would assume.
I don't think that they took maybe some of the blood out, but like a lot of the shooting and killing and stuff was still in there. I mean, obviously some of the language got cleaned up a bit, but I mean, they're a little racier with TV in places like New Zealand, TV and movies than
Fair.
And what they'll show to kids. So, anyway. All that is to say, that is my best ever movie on a plane moment. Loved it then, loved it when I bought it on DVD later, have loved it ever since. Better than the 13th Floor in every measurable way.
You know what one connection is to this?
What?
That isn't super apparent, but there's a moment when we didn't talk about the guy that's trying to blackmail him in the 13th Floor at all.
No.
But when the guy tries to blackmail him, suddenly Douglas Hall turns into, like, a kung fu master and throws his head through.
Yeah. He's got him, like, he's lured him into this parking garage, and this evil bartender guy, like, has him in some kind of, like, he's got him, been punching him and has him shoved up against a car, and then, Craig Bierko just busts out some self-defense training shit and, like, smashes the guy's face through a car window.
Yeah, it's like someone on the upper reality just downloaded a kung fu program into his head.
Yeah, I know kung fu. Show me.
Yes, exactly. So,
yeah.
Let's move on to our next film.
Yeah, let's do it. Matrix, good movie. Free Guy with old Ryan Reynolds in it. Good old Ryan Reynolds. What a scamp.
Have you seen this movie?
I've not seen this movie, but I do know that he plays an NPC in a video game and kind of online, like Grand Theft Auto online type game, where he is just, there's constantly chaos going on around him, and he is not really able to participate in it. He's just a bystander to it.
But he learns that he's in it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so he realizes that he's in a virtual world. Now, Landon, I get the impression that you loved this movie. You thought it was really, really good.
I don't like that you can see my letterbox.
You need to find a better way to convey these to
Truman,
me.
I have chosen to show you these without advertisements on Letterboxd. The alternative is you have to see my ratings, but you're doxing me all the time.
Okay, well, I didn't even, you could have just gone along with it. Okay, so
Here's my review.
The review is let's see, it's just a bunch of emojis here. It's what I can't really see it. It's like it's like a gun shooting at two things. Is this good content, listeners? Write in and let us know.
It's a face with dizzy eyes.
Shooting itself.
Yes, and blood coming out its nose.
Wow. Okay, so you don't like Free Guy. What's wrong with Free Guy?
Well, okay. I need to I'm never going to revisit this, but people like this movie. Someone that I know IRL actually talked to me about this movie. He went to it with his kids who are very much into video gaming culture, and like maybe this is a movie that's just not for me, but I hated the experience of this movie. We don't need to review this movie, but everything about the concept just was like, what if we just stripped back literally any kind of philosophy at all about this and play everything for obnoxious levels of bubblegum pop?
Well, I mean, the fact that it's a Ryan Reynolds movie clues you into that. And I say
that's fair.
I say that with all due respect to Ryan Reynolds, who seems like a wonderful man, but just his brand at this point is if I see his name on it, I am gonna walk the other way because I just have had enough.
Yes, agreed. But also my ratings are for myself. So like, whatever. People can like this movie.
Yeah. No, we're not casting shade on anyone who likes Free Guy.
So I'm supposed to be comparing it to 13th Floor.
So you're saying the 13th Floor did a better job of the guy finds out he's in a simulated reality thing than Free Guy?
For my tastes, yes.
Okay. Well, I won't dispute that. It probably does. As we remember,
right.
I liked the 13th Floor, kind of.
Let's move on to the next film that I'm a little more excited about.
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, it was a really good Scarlett Johansson movie, right? What,
1995?
What?
Fucking.
I saw that. I saw that in theaters because I got a free ticket because they were desperate to get butts in those seats, and boy, did it stink. And the whole time, my friend John was telling me, "Oh, the anime movie from the '90s is way better." So, I've been set up.
And that's what we're talking about, is the Ghost in the Shell from 1995, directed by Mamoru Oshii. Brilliant movie. This would be on the 5-4 for The Matrix, I think.
Mm-hmm. Because, well, so I know that this is cyberpunky, and I know that there's, like, jumping into people's brains and stuff and hacking into their minds, right?
Kind of, yeah. This movie is very philosophical. Actually, the movie is more philosophical than the manga it's based on, which is interesting. But, it kind of plays this idea with it's a cyborg or robotic body that the human soul or part of like the brain can tap into. So like the body can be broken down and then rebuilt because it kind of RoboCop rules.
Oh, nice. RoboCop does rule.
But this movie gets very philosophical by the end of like, can robots have souls, and what constitutes like what's real, what do you give meaning to, that I think play in the same, I don't know, thematic world that the 13th Floor could play in.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, look,
it doesn't really, but
I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. I've bounced off anime a lot, but I also like the concept here and this kind of sci-fi world that it's presenting seems really interesting to me. So it is the sort of thing I would like to engage with.
yes, if you're anime curious, I think this is a good one to start with. If you like sci-fi, there's lots of guns in this one, Truman, so maybe that will get your goat.
Well, let's go into the simulation of 1999 so I can tell my little freak child self how good this was.
Then little Truman will be asking his mom to watch Ghost in the Shell on an airplane to New Zealand.
Look, and if I became an anime person as a child, I don't even know. I don't even know how that would have affected the rest of my life.
All right. The highest recommendation I can give to Ghost in the Shell, more than The Matrix, actually.
Wow.
Shall we move on to the next film? The last film.
Let's move on to the final film. Certified Copy. I have never heard of this. What the hell is this?
Abbas Kiarostami is one of my all-time favorite directors. I share a birthday with him. Certified Copy is a exploration of what we give meaning to. It's explored through a marriage between William Schimmel and Juliette Binoche, one of the greatest actresses of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use the metaphor they use in the film as the way to describe this movie. If you're looking at, let's take one of what's a famous painting? You love art history. Pick me a picture.
Famous painting, Nighthawks by Edward Hopper.
Okay, great. Let's say you have a poster of it. You go to the gift shop, you buy a poster that has the name of the museum on it, you bring it home, you put it on your wall. Looking at that poster of Nighthawks, do you derive lesser meaning from looking at the poster than you would looking at the painting?
I think maybe slightly less, simply because there's something about being physically present in the same space as the canvas touched by the famous artist.
Okay.
There's a sense of connection that I feel from that when I go to a museum, but it's still pretty good because I like the image.
Now, what if, instead of a poster, it was an exact handcrafted replica down to the last brush stroke of Nighthawks, to the point where you couldn't distinguish between the original and the copy?
I don't know. I don't know that I would still pay. Like, how much am I paying for that? I don't know how much extra I'd be willing to pay for an exact copy of that. Like, I still think I would rather the real thing.
But, okay, let's go one step further. What if you didn't know you were looking at a replica? Would you derive any lesser meaning out of it, not knowing that it was a replica and you were thinking you were looking at the original?
No, probably I wouldn't get any less. Honestly, I'm such a dumbass. You could probably just put the poster print from the Chicago Art Institute gift shop up behind glass and say, yeah, that's Nighthawks. I'd be like, oh, okay, that's Nighthawks.
So that's what this movie is kind of dealing with. It's a very different vibe than the 13th Floor. Obviously, this is not a genre picture, but it's dealing with those questions of, if you know it's a fake, does it change the meaning of it in any kind of way? Applying that to human relationships, applying that to reality, applying that to everyday life.
Okay. I mean, that sounds heady, and I don't fully get what you mean, but so you seem to like it quite a lot. So it's a comedy, right?
It's not a comedy. I would call it a drama, but not like not a tragic drama. I don't know. It's not like a Bergman drama. It's a movie that explores thematic territory.
Is it
both light and dark?
The just broadest description. Is it a slice of life, Landon? Is it a slice of life?
It is literally a slice of life because it takes place almost in real time.
Okay, well there you go. Okay, so it's a slice of life about some themes and some concepts.
Yeah, but you know what, Truman? It's not really a slice of life because these are actors playing out a rendition of a scene in real time to make it seem like real life. Does that change the meaning for you?
It's a simulation of life, not the actual life. I'm glad.
All right, I'm gonna leave.
I'm glad we're done with the 13th Floor because I get a headache in every one of these conversations we're having about these simulations in reality. Man, it's tough. It's tough.
All right. Well, let's leave listeners with those questions as well as the question of what movie is coming on Friday. So until then, For Truman Caps, I've been Landon Solano.
And for Landon Solano, I've been Truman Caps. See you later.
Good night.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.